let's take you through a quick product demo. So here, what you're seeing is different color swim lanes. Please notice I'm a company admin, so I'm seeing a lot of teams. In your environment, you would only see the teams that you have access to. What we're seeing here is these different swim lanes, these different colors, green, orange, blue. What they're showing you is different levels. So you're seeing things all the way up at the teams that are grouped by the enterprise. You're seeing a product/program art level, and then you're seeing these blue, which is the team level. So let's go into this. Here is showing you a multi-team at the program level, but let's go a level deeper and let's take a look at one of our teams in the auto program. Let's take a look at KTLO. KTLO is actually from real data that our clients have given us permission to use. So first, let's see, how do we edit a team? By clicking on that pen, I was taken to this page here where I can see the team information. So the name of them, their work type, what methodology they're using, what do they do? And this is also where the Scrum Master is able to provide a description and some background. Down here, you see team tags. So this is where you can tag what product line they're within, what portfolio they're in, as well as any strategic objectives that they have. This is also where the Scrum Masters can come in and they can enter the data. So there is two ways to do this. You can do it manually. This is where Scrum Masters would come in and add new data per iteration. The questions are pretty simple. What are the target points for this iteration? How many points did your team actually achieve? And were there any escaped defects? And how much was your total scope? They're also able to come in here and enter some release data. So target points for the release, the actual points, target value, and actual value delivered. You're also able to enter target cost and actual cost. And here's where we can come in and enter business capabilities, business outcomes. So what are these here have entered a few different capabilities, and what is the target? How soon do we expect to get this? What's the target that we're hoping to achieve? And then what is the actual that we achieved? So if we go back and take a look at their actually completed retros, we can see that they have 3 different retros that they have completed. So let's go into this one. Here we're able to see their summary result. We can also push on details, switch it here, to be able to see their actual detailed results. Here we can see the variance. So this team has done this 3 times, and this is clearly a team that has been together for a while, as we can see that most of their competencies are rated pretty high, and there's a lot of consensus. So consensus is that we don't see a lot of shading variance here. So measures of success is probably the one that has the most shading, between 5 and 10. So the cool thing here is that we can show you how you would be able to build a growth plan. So here you can go in, and this is what the team would do during the actual assessment. They can come in here and add a new item. Here they're able to select what's the category. Is this an organizational, individual, or team item? What's the type of thing that we're requesting? Is it our process improvement? Is it leadership and management? Is it coaching? What do we need? And then here they're able to enter the title. We do say please be specific and give them some examples of acceptance criteria. They can put the priority and the status. So as we go here, we can see some samples of items that they created. Notice that they can switch from the grid view to the Kanban view to get a better way of seeing what's in their backlog, what's in progress, and what's done. Let's say that one of the items that this team is struggling with is lack of roadmap. So they can go back here and say, hey, we're really struggling with roadmap. And then all they need to do is just click on roadmap, and it says your average response here is a 7. Do you want to go to the growth portal? If you click on the growth folder, this here shows you roadmap. The team has clarity on their deliverables over the next few quarters and has a visual representation of their roadmap. This allows you to see what's a healthy roadmap look like and what's an unhealthy roadmap look like. You're able to provide recommendations, but it's really cool that you're actually able to pull this into your growth plan. So it says, are you sure you want to pull this into planning and estimating for your Q4 2016? We're going to say no, but you could pull that in if that was something that you wanted to try. You're also able to watch videos by experts and resources. And here you're able to get coaching from an actual coach, so you can request a coach. The request a coach can be customized for your organization so that your coaches show up here. And these resources can be customized for your organization as well. So if you have specific items that you want to recommend to teams, you can put them in here. Now, let's see their growth journey. We saw that they're doing really well. I wonder how they're doing from time to time. Notice here that you can filter away. You can filter by FTE versus co-located individuals. You can see the different participant groups. So here we're just showing you the entire team. So let's go back to KTLO. And here we can click on the growth journey. This is powerful. Here we can see how is this team growing. So you can see Q1 is red, Q2 is blue, and Q4 2016 is purple. So we can see that this team started down pretty low on clarity, and that's improved. And as we said earlier, there is definitely a correlation between having stronger leadership teams and helping our leadership understand their roles better within an agile framework and the growth of clarity. So we see that here. Same thing here. There's a strong correlation between having a strong culture and foundation to performance, and we can see how that grew as well. So that's pretty powerful to be able to see that. If you go down here, we're actually able to see how they're growing by actual numbers too, which is powerful. And it's a quick glance to be able to say, hey, this is red, this is red. So for that first quarter, they would have been able to come down here and say, these are the areas we really need to focus. Okay, let's go back to our dashboard. Let's take a look at our multi-team. This view of the team where we were just at is where the Scrum Master and the team would spend most of their time. You as a leader would spend most of your time here. These are multi-teams. So if I click on this, I can see a little bit about this multi-team. So who is this? It's the auto product line team. What's the work type? And then there is a few team tags here. So this is under Portfolio A. Here is the business line. And here is the strategic goal and objective of this business line or portfolio or line of business. So if I go in here and I see the sub-teams, I can see what are the teams that work within this auto business line. And I can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got quite a few items. So that's pretty powerful for us to be able to see for these, what are the growth items. So let's go here. And when I click that, it took me to their actual radar. So for the radar, if I click this green button, I can see the representation of the different teams. And I can hide team names if I want to, or show the team names. You can select all or clear all. So this is just showing me the average. It's just showing me the auto product line team. If I want to, I can say, show me the specific teams here. And that would give me a view across all the teams. So if I scroll down, what this tells me is some information about the program as a whole. What are the top 5 competencies for this program? What are the lowest 5 competencies? And where do we have the most agreement as a program? and where are the places where we have the least amount of agreement as a program. And if we scroll down here, we're able to see what items do most of our teams agree on. And so that's really what we want to be able to do. If we look at roadmap and we notice that most of our teams don't agree on roadmap, then we're able to see that, hey, this is an item that we might want to focus on. So what's really important is that we're not focused on comparing Team A to Team C, but really we're focused more on across the team trends. If we go down here, there's a really cool view, which we can see the grid view, which gives me all the details, but I can also choose to go into a Kanban view. The Kanban view shows me what's available to pull. What are the teams asking us to pull in? What are they asking for our help with? This only shows you the organizational items that the multi-teams are able to pull in. Here it shows the backlog. So these are items that we were able to pull in. If you look at these little icons, this tells you that this is category enterprise, where this is organizational. So we've already escalated this up to the enterprise. And here we see the items that we currently have committed to that are in progress that we're working on for this quarter. We see any items that maybe we cannot work on. We want to be able to move those to on hold so we can communicate to the teams that we're not currently going to be able to work on these items for them. And we also want to be able to show what things that we have completed to show what progress we are making. If you were going to do this from the grid view, you're also able to go into these items here and pull them in or export to Excel. So let's go back to the radar. Oh, here we can also see the metrics. So if your team has inputted metrics, you're able to see those. So you're able to see how the team is doing, their actual points, and their targeted points, and if they're going to be on track or not, as well as what's the total scope for this team. You're able to see their total escape defects, their average velocity, and if we are having a lot of change within scope, we're able to see that here. And how predictable is this team? Can we count on them to getting this done? And current % done of the project. This is also really cool that when the actual stakeholders go in and give the team a rating of would I recommend this team to others or not, we can see an NPS score here for each teams. So if we go back to the radar, we can also filter by roles, by tags, or participant groups. So you're able to go ahead and see different tags. Just gonna have to wait for this to load. Give me 5 seconds here. Yes, and then now we can filter by roles. So the roles here, for example, let's say we wanted to see how do our developers feel, let's say versus our architects. Oh, the architect is not included. When you see that, it means that we did not have enough we did not tag this role enough. So let's say developer versus our technical leads. We could do that. So then here we're able to see what areas do the technical leads feel and how does the team feel. Filtering down by the actual roles helps you in being able to maybe develop a plan that's more strategic for a team. So for example, if we notice that generalizing specialists, let's say the business analysts versus the developers, if we notice a difference here, which there isn't really much, then what we can do is we can make sure that we are helping one of those teams with knowledge transfer and sharing information. You're also able to filter by participant groups. So I could say I want to be able to see co-located versus distributed teams. What's the difference? How do they feel? Distributed teams feel lower in culture. So what can we do to make them feel more involved? What can we do to increase their happiness? You're also able to take these things and export them out to PDF. Now, let's take a look at the growth journey. The growth journey here is showing me different quarter views. So let's say I just wanted to be able to compare between quarter 1 of 2016 and Q4 of 2015. Then I can see how much did the team improve from last quarter to this quarter. Not the team, but the program overall, which is a powerful way to say our programs are improving overall. Now let's take a look at the timeline view. This timeline view here is showing me that as well, but from a different view. So if we take a look at this, over all those quarters, this is a much better way to see it, is in the timeline view. Because then now I can see the trends. We were down, we went up, went down, went down, went up, and went up. And then you can see it for culture, for foundation, for clarity, as well as performance. You're also able to filter down a little bit more. So if you wanted to just see it for clarity and see the different areas, you can. And you can also filter down by sub-dimensions. So you can say, how are we doing on vision? So think about if you're within the leadership role, then you can come in here and say, how are we doing within management? And then maybe you even want to filter down the manager a little bit more to say, how are they saying we're doing within process improvement, within developing people, and servant leadership? The keys to success with this Agility Health process is to remember this is used for growth. So it can never be used for performance. That's how people will start to game it. So we never punish or reward teams or leaders based on their assessment results. Leaders owning the org growth stories for the quarter. So this is so critical as we see leaders come in and help the teams really get excited and start to want to tell us more about what things are standing in their way. Be intentional about growth. That really means making the time for it. And then creating the energy and excitement, really making this more of a pull and having the team pull this assessment, pull this survey, and having them ask us to help them with growing rather than it being a push. Thank you very much for your time today, and you can find us on agilityhealthradar.com and you can contact us there. Thank you.